Hey guys, welcome back to the WODdoc Project 365, episode 1070. Guys, you're following along on YouTube, please jump on over to thewoddoc.com. Check out all of our full-length videos. That's where we house them. What's on the topic for today, guys, is cleans, but not just any cleans. We're using sandbags, so we got sandbag cleans. Got this sucker the other day from Brute Force Sandbags, and super cool, liking it a lot. You're going to be seeing me doing some videos with these things, these odd objects, where I implement them into my workout regimen. So I figured I would do a quick tutorial on some of the differences when we do cleans with sandbags versus with a traditional barbell, okay? Many similarities, but just a few differences that you guys should have your heads up on so that you can stay safe and keep working out. So, first thing is, it's a bag, right? And that's, of course, sandbag. It's a bag, so it's not a rigid, symmetrical object like a barbell, but it's an asymmetrical object, and it's non-rigid, right? So it kind of moves around. If I put more input through my left hand versus my right hand, that sucker's going to move around. Also, during the movement, some of the sand can shift to one side versus the other. There are interlocking bags inside it, but you can still get some differences, so it's not going to be a perfectly weighted object, okay? These are some things to keep in mind, but when we do this, I really want you to think about two things. One, because it's an oblong-shaped object, right? I want you to think of it as a grocery bag or a mace, where you're trying to whip it a little bit, so that way the weight stays centered in the bag when you're doing the movement, right? So you're actually moving your arms around the weight rather than, or spinning the weight, so to speak, rather than with a barbell, how we're just thinking about getting it to go in a straight line. We want it to stay in as straight as a line as we can. However, you're going to see that the whip happens a little bit differently, okay? Second thing is the catch position for the clean. Of course, we still want to have high elbows, but we want to create a platform. We can't expect that our hands are going to come back like this, right? Because this bag is much bigger than that skinny barbell. So keep those two things in mind. We want to create a whip, just like we would with if we were swinging around a grocery bag, and all the stuff would be able to stay in there. And at the same time, we also want to create a platform, right, with nice level arms, and you're going to have less bend in your elbow than you would in a regular clean, okay? So here's the first thing. Remember, constant acceleration will keep the weight in the bottom and that centrifugal force that we're talking about. If we get this little hiccup and type of stuff, we're going to lose tension. If we lose tension in a non-rigid object, it's even harder. We get this slack and it'll start to whip versus a barbell, okay? So everything else is exactly the same. If I'm going to move the bag up and down into like what we consider the first or even second pull, everything's going to happen in the same direction, okay? When I start to get that sucker up, as I'm pulling it up, as I get up, my elbows get high and clear to the outside, I'm really going to have to punch. It has to be a deliberate punch, because if it's not, right, so this is what the movement would look like, right? That's it right there. If it's not a deliberate punch, if I have a very slow type of like non-aggressive punch, that weight will hit off the front of my elbows. I really need to think about whipping that sucker, like if it's two garbage bags, okay? So, second thing is I'm just going to create that platform, let that bag swing around and land right on top of those shoulders, okay? Boom. Just like that, right? We come back down, and that finishes the movement. If I start to get herky-jerky with this, if I don't create that whip, it's going to get really, really hard. So I want to make sure that I'm still extending with the hips, still pulling those elbows high into the outside. Punch becomes that much more important to a stable platform. One more time. And that one was a little bit low. Better. See, so you can see we carry over many of the techniques that we do from a traditional barbell clean. Some things that are a little bit minor differences, but we take these things, use the carryover, bring them onto a bag, because bags are super cool. Not everybody has a barbell at their house, and we can take these many more different places. So I think it's something that we should all try. Questions, comments, please post them below. And until tomorrow, we're optimizing function to optimize performance.